How's it going, everyone? So the Packers have kind of given us some injury updates. Starting off with the first one, Micah Parsons, as expected, did tear his ACL, so he is done for the season, and it's a huge blow to our defense. So he'll be out for probably around 9 months. If you're to kind of correlate it to another player, Christian Watson, when he tore his ACL, he tore his in week 18. So Micah Parsons tearing his a little bit before week 18. And that means that kind of puts him around the timeline. If he recovers as fast or similar to Watson, probably towards like the end of September, but a more like gracious time period is probably around early to mid-October. Granted, Christian Watson, when he tore his in week 18, came back towards the tail end of October. So probably late September, mid-October range is the expected if everything goes smoothly for his ACL surgery and rehab. Now, along the front of another injury update, we have Christian Watson. This is some actual good news. It looks like he avoided any major serious injury. Didn't break his collarbone, as I kind of thought. PTSD, just seeing collarbones break with the Packers, just felt like that was it. But looks like he avoided any major injury. So that's actually some really good news. His status for the Bears will be determined later, probably depending on how he practices and how he goes throughout. But he is not already rolled out. He isn't going to need to go on IR, it looks like. So looks like we avoided major injury, at least on that front with Christian Watson. And then lastly, with our last two big injuries that were sustained in Zach Tom and Evan Williams, no more news came out today. Matt LaFleur will be interviewed tomorrow, so I'm sure more news is going to come out tomorrow. But until then, no further news on that front. But it looks like, all things considered, how gruesome the Broncos game was with injuries. It looks like we did lose Micah Parsons, obviously, but we did avoid a lot more serious injuries, especially with how the Watson injury looked like initially on the field and then having to go to the hospital during the game. But with the Bears game coming very shortly on Saturday, I have a bit more hope than I did last night, considering everything looked very doom and gloom, not with just Micah Parsons, but also Christian Watson. But the Watson injury news kind of gives me a lot more hope, considering that could provide our offense a lot better. On the defensive front, huge blow, but we do have Jeff Hafley, and he's kind of been in this situation before Parsons and has had pretty good success. So I'm trusting in Hafley despite the showing over there in Denver. Both defenses just didn't show up really until, well, of course, we lost Watson, so Denver showed up after that. But let me know what you think down in the comments. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, go Pack, go.